I'd like to welcome all of you to our Smart City Tech Week. This is our flagship event for 2021, and it is also our annual event that we have at Venturous Group every year. My name is Vincent Tam, and I am the founder and chairman of Venturous Group. The Venturous Group is China's leading Citytech group. And we are an investor, business builder, and operator using deep tech to transform cities to become smarter, more livable, sustainable, and productive. And today, we are here to talk about smart computing. And in today's session, we are going to have a presentation by Boyd Ye, whom I will introduce later. And after Boyd's presentation, we are going to kick off a fireside chat. And that fireside chat will be moderated by me, Benson. The discussion will be between Boyd Ye and two other panelists. So with that, I'd like to give a brief introduction of our keynote presenter, Boyd Ye. Great. Hello, Boyd. Hi, Benson. Hello, Boyd. Benson here. Where are you connecting from? I am connecting from Xi'an. And Xi'an is where you are headquartered, right? Yes, it's one of our head offices. Great. So a few words about Boyd Ye, our keynote speaker today. He is the strategy director. So basically, he is in charge of the Harmony operating system here at iSoftStone Group. Could you please tell us about yourself in a few words, Boyd? Okay. Well, I'm a tech guy, and I have been following tech as it develops. So I think choosing Harmony is about choosing the future. That is my professional choice. Okay, great. So here you are going to talk about the Harmony system. Thank you. And we also have two panelists. One, we have Ms. Zhang Jingjing, and she is the director of Xinri Group. And Xinri Group is an electric vehicle company. And I'd like to turn it over to Ms. Zhang for her to say a few words about herself. Hello, everyone. My name is Zhang Jingjing, and I am in charge of smart product at Xinri Group. Our company is specialized in electric vehicles, including electric two-wheelers. Well, for electric two-wheelers, it is just starting to implement some smart technology. So we are working with Harmony and with a wider Huawei system in order to improve user experience. Great. Thank you, Ms. Zhang. I look forward to hearing from you and from Boyd in terms of how you connect your electric vehicles to the internet through the Harmony system. Great. With that, I'd like to talk about our second panelist joining our fireside chat after the keynote presentation. And this is Mr. Luo Wei, Mr. Luo. And he is the director of Open Harmony at OpenAtom Foundation. And he is basically committed to open source governance. Well, that is beyond my scope of expertise. So why don't I turn it over to Mr. Luo for him to talk about, in his own words, how he works with Open Harmony and his own open source work at OpenAtom Foundation. Mr. Luo, you have the floor. Hi, Mr. Luo Wei here, and I am the director of Open Harmony. And as for the open source project, sorry, the audio is fading in and out. Open source project is closely connected with the Harmony system. The whole Harmony Open System is the foundation of our open source work. And I think that is going to drive our commercialization. Sorry, we lost audio from the other panelist. Okay, yeah, sorry, we can't really hear you, Mr. Luo. I think perhaps we should just turn it over to Boyd for his keynote presentation. How about that? Great. Okay, so Boyd, I know that you have to introduce something exciting today, and this may not be known to our audience abroad, that Harmony OS has become the world's fastest growing operating system. So I am going to turn it over to you to talk to us about why this is. I'm going to give the floor over to you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session on smart computing, the first session of the Smart City Tech Week. And today I am here to talk about Harmony OS, the world's fastest growing OS. And my name is Boyd Ye, and I am the strategic director for Harmony at iSoftStone. So first of all, let's watch this video. So this is basically some features about the Harmony system. This is about a fully customizable card system. And also there is a syncing, allowed between the smartwatch and the cell phone. And also these card systems can be shared. So basically, you can share information across the different smart terminals. And it helps you stay abreast of where you are in terms of an app or a service. And also you can pass the information across your computer, your cell phone, and your smartwatch. And that basically creates a smart space that can change how we work and how we live. And super terminal is a new concept that is part of the Harmony system. So basically, what is a super terminal? A smart terminal does not need to have all of the features that is required. You only have to connect the system to another system for it to be able to call on the capacity of the other device that is connected to. And this is basically a one-touch Harmony ecosystem, and that is enabled on all devices. So basically, you just have to give one touch, and then you can access the entire card system. So this is actually not, we are not stranger to this system. With our home getting smarter with the different smart devices, we are faced with the problem of having to download an app for each of the smart devices we add to our homes. And that, instead of making our lives easier, makes our lives harder. So what offers Harmony OS with a one-touch system, and also with the pop-up card system that basically can simplify the system to give you a brand new experience. So I am going to walk you through the development of Harmony OS, and also from the perspective of participation from iSoftStone. So first of all, what is the Harmony operating system, the Harmony OS? As you can see from the video, it is basically an operation platform that allows for collaborative work between different devices. So currently, we have different operating systems. There is iOS, Android, and Windows. If we would like to send a picture or a file from one device to another, then we have to rely on apps or programs in order to send these files across different devices. But with the Harmony system, is just a one-touch transfer. This is for consumer apps. And for industry terminals, we have a different system such as free RTOS, UC-OCS2, and all these are not interoperable. And basically, we can only achieve partial compatibility in order to interconnect different softwares. And with more devices connecting online, we have to have higher compatibility, and that is where Harmony OS comes in. So basically, we can integrate all kinds of terminals by including them into this system. And as you can see, for Fuchsia OS, it is aimed at the same thing, which is the full compatibility. The Harmony OS is the world's fastest OS. It has been around for less than 2 years, but it has been growing at an astounding rate. Now we have over 210 devices connected, out of which 150 million devices are cell phones. And also we support 300 device manufacturers. And also we have a huge developer community. By 2021, year to date, we already have 5.1 million developers. So basically, you can see how fast Harmony OS has grown and how popular it is currently. So basically, let's go back to the concept of a super terminal. Back in the 90s, cell phones were known as feature phones. So basically, when you get a phone at that time, the software and the hardware are all fixed. Basically, you cannot add software or hardware features. And if you would like something else, you would have to talk with the manufacturer directly to have a customized device. In the 20th century, we have a smart phones. And that basically allows you to add software capacity, but the hardware capacity is fixed. And smartphones are basically the mainstream now. And what we're seeing is that we have a lot of apps that are usable with mobile internet. And what are we trying to achieve? What is Harmony trying to achieve with the super terminal? It is trying to revolutionize this device system. So basically, by, for example, creating connection between a smartphone and a camera that is installed in your home, and that is achieved through a distributed softbus system. And this super terminal ecosystem is completely decentralized. In other words, any system in this ecosystem can be the center of this system. And what we're trying to do is to create an operating system that covers all use cases. I showed you the card or the deck system. And let me talk to you about some features here. So first of all, with the one-touch system, we can project a picture or a file from my cell phone to another monitor screen, or I can just use the one-touch system to sync music from my phone to a treadmill.
I believe this experience will be the most competitive feature of Harmony. So we're going to look at the application of the OS in these different sectors. So there is this distributed data management, which really reduce data calculation at the end or at the edge. And we now have this possibility with very minimal memory to run the operation system. So you can see that the memory can be at the level of 128 KB. And you can also use this OS on your cell phones or on your laptops. And in terms of computing, You can see this combination of different use cases. It really help consumer and industry internet, this new revolution. So why it is necessary to build the Harmony ecosystem. According to the 2021 report from IDC, that the spending on IoT market across the globe by 2024 will be as high as 1.1 trillion US dollars, with China accounting for 26.7%. So that's 300 billion US dollars. And that means Harmony will bring new changes to IoT. And I will talk about this commercial release version or Harmony and the adaptability to different suppliers, as well as training, education, and north and southbound application. So on this slide, you're looking at this commercial version of Harmony. I'll just give you an example. And Android is an OS from Google, is an open source operating system. So based on that, there are tech giants given birth to, like Xiaomi, Huawei. And then there are other companies, including Foxconn and the likes, which all represent billions of industrial chains. And we hope that with this Harmony operating system, there will be new opportunities for investors. When it comes to iOS, you know that the opportunities for investment are very limited. And Android has become like this blue ocean, but there are vast opportunities when it comes to Harmony. And then with the support of this OpenAtom Foundation, and in the context open source community, global developers, individuals, and companies can participate in the R&D process. So going forward, when it comes to IoT, Industry 4.0 or smart end devices, we believe Harmony will bring you infinite possibilities. And on the slide, you're looking at the products and use cases of Harmony OS. So governed by the OpenAtom Foundation, there are about 100 open source examples. So you can download these samples from GitHub. And developers can leverage these samples for their own internal development. And then we also see these various plans based on different types of screens, like your cell phone or your tablets. So the manufacturers with these open source codes and these screen-based plans, they can further develop based on their own products and turn their end devices into smart home appliances. So you can see that Harmony really plays the role of accelerating the digitization process. And I want to talk about Open Harmony now. So if you use a Huawei cell phone, the operating system will be Harmony. And Open Harmony is what is donated to the OpenAtom Foundation. And this is the basic features of Harmony OS, which will serve as the foundation for further feature development. The open source feature of Harmony will give you a lot of new momentum for developers around the globe. That's why we invited Mr. Luo, the director of Open Harmony working group, and he will talk about the future plan and targets. So I also want to help you understand the differences between Harmony OS, Open Harmony, and Harmony OS Connect. So Harmony OS connects Open Harmony and Harmony OS Connect. As I mentioned earlier, that our Harmony OS is a trademark that belongs to Huawei. So proprietor of Harmony OS is Huawei, and Open Harmony is a project incubated by OpenAtom Foundation. And Harmony OS Connect is a full use case smart brand under Huawei. So different suppliers or manufacturers, they can turn their end devices smart and then be part of the ecosystem of Huawei. And by doing this, they will be able to leverage the supply chain of Huawei and conduct their sales. Next, I'm going to talk about what role that iSoftStone plays in the development of the ecosystem of Harmony OS. So our company was founded in Beijing in 2005. Now we have almost 100 branches and 20 global delivery centers in over 40 cities around the world and 85,000 employees. And our mission is to improve a customer's value when they undertake their digitization process. And we serve many different sectors, including internet, high tech, insurance, banks. We are capable to provide long-term tech solutions. And we also help them provide digital operation services. We have served over 1,000 clients, among which 200 are Fortune Global 500 or China 500 companies. We aim to enter into long-term partnership with all of our clients. So I talked about the difference between Harmony OS, Open Harmony, and Harmony OS Connect. And now I want to talk about what role that iSoftStone plays. So we were part of the development when Harmony OS was still in the making, and we are also a member of the Open Harmony project. And we also help Harmony OS Connect to build this full use case ecosystem. We are a solution provider to Harmony OS Connect. We will help as many manufacturers or brands as possible to join the Harmony ecosystem. So you can see this third-party chips. These chips now can support Harmony OS and will improve the performance and features. And we hope we can incorporate this one-touch function into this machine. So it will support monitoring, attendance, and other functionalities. As I mentioned earlier, that iSoftStone is a solution provider for Harmony OS Connect. So we now have a presence in 5 use cases, including home appliances, sports and house, mobility, OA entertainment, and audio and video. So we help with different types of products like this soybean maker from Jouyang and this massage chair from Ao Jiahua and this projector from Jingguo. And all these products now support the Harmony OS. And Xinri EV is one of the very first companies that got certified. So we did a derivative development on their Bluetooth chips So we have incorporated both Harmony, Android and iOS into this solution. And Madam Zhang will talk about the Harmony solution for their EVs. And we aim to develop our own commercial version. So the global operating system in 2020 was about 185.2 billion US dollars, and that number is expected to grow to 300.6 billion US dollars by 2025. So this is a market worth of hundreds of billions of dollars. We have entered into collaboration with many manufacturers. So we believe this commercial version will grow together with the Harmony ecosystem to enable many different industries and sectors. And with our footprint or foothold in these business, we have selected a few targeted industries for future collaboration. And now I would also like to tell you a little bit about our role in the OpenAtom Foundation. We are one of the earliest members. We hope we can help the community with open source codes, altogether about 60,000 lines of open source codes. And we have gathered a great number of experts. We also initiated the very first Open Harmony training session, and we are one of the organizers for this endeavor. And now I want to talk about a topic of great interest to investors. What are these opportunities for investment? I believe Harmony OS is still at a very early stage. There are great room for growth and opportunities in many different parts. So on the left-hand side, you can see that on these different layers of SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS, there are research and development, and we hope going forward we will be able to empower different industries.
And basically for every segment, we are open to having partners work with us. And that is going to help us rapidly expand the entire Harmony ecosystem. So in conclusion, I'd like to extend a cordial invitation on part of iSoftStone for all that are interested in joining this Open Harmony system. Thank you. Thank you again, Boyd, for your presentation. Harmony Operation System has really captured my attention. I think that this is basically a hallmark of entering into the third generation of technology, which is the urban internet powered by IoT, the Internet of Things, after the first generation, which is PC-based internet, and the second generation that is mobile internet. So Boyd, you were basically talking about having a system that allows you to connect all the cell phones, all the smartwatches, and other smart home devices, correct? Correct. So this is remarkable. It is about creating a system that allows for all the devices to talk to each other. And as I was listening to your presentation, it seems that the previous two generations of internet were basically what I would say, quote unquote, human powered. So basically, these two previous generations of internet, you still had to rely on human intervention. The actions had to be initiated by human beings. And when we are in this third generation powered by systems like Harmony, there's an important breakthrough. Basically, if you tell a device to do something, the device, without you explaining further, can connect to other devices in its vicinity, and it can also empower coordination between the different devices to talk to each other. Is my understanding correct? Right, that is exactly what Harmony system allows you to do. Okay, so in the previous two generations of internet, the human beings have to initiate all of the orders for the devices to carry them out. But basically in the third generation, you just have to send a verbal order to one device, and then that device can take care of the rest by talking with the other devices to complete a chain of actions. Is that correct? Correct. So basically, based on that narrative, basically, well, that it's just mind blowing. Could you please go into further details about what this allows you to do? Well, basically, in this smart device era, we just basically the human being is positioned at the entry point to the smart ecosystem. For example, if you just talk to your speaker, the voice recognition software, to ask it to order some takeout, then this voice recognition software is going to know how to pull up a list of options. They are going to ask you whether you would like to narrow down your choice to hot pot or burgers, or what type of burgers. And then it's going to refine that order based on your preferences. And then the device will contact the vendor, the restaurant automatically. And then the food will be delivered to you. And the delivery can be sent by human drivers, or even robots. And basically, the robot can obey orders of logistics and to send the food to your door. And when the robot sends an order that, or sends an instruction that your takeout has arrived, then there's a way for your door, if it's smart, to talk to that robot to open the door, or to let you know that your takeout has arrived, so that you can get your hands on your lunch or dinner. Wow, so this is completely automated. Basically, you just have to give one order, and then the device can talk to other devices to complete the chain of actions required for the task. So basically, that is completely automated, right? Yes. This is completely automated because in the era of the Internet of Things, more human intervention is not needed. The advantage of Harmony system is about integrating these devices for the devices to talk to each other, and that can make our lives a lot easier. Great. So I know that a lot of our participants here are investors. They may not know the ins and outs of this technology. So could you please talk to us about this interconnectivity between the devices that creates an automated cluster? So this full automation, could you please go further in detail about this full automation? And speaking of a full automation, that makes me think of something, a saying that we have in Chinese, which means that you think about something and that order is completed, or having things go your way with just an idea in your head, and that is going to be made reality, right? Right. And that is powered by this artificial intelligence and IoT. Great. So basically, you do not need to code or nor do you have to know how to create the orders to have the machines talk to one another, because they already know how to do that on their own. That creates a sort of machine server. So this is kind of like if I had a butler, in this case, a digital butler. I tell the butler what I want, and then he or she basically takes care of the rest. Say that, for example, I'm at St. Regis and I like their food options in the Chinese restaurant. So I would be telling the customer service, and I would say, for example, I would like a dish of crabs, and then that food is delivered to me. And except that in the Harmony system, this is all done digitally, right? Right. So basically, if we would like to see such a use case, basically, if you have, you can already visualize of having a cluster of devices for an order to be completed. And this requires a robust software platform if we were to do so under current conditions. But with Harmony system, first it allows for automated kind of interconnectivity, and also it has robust distributed computing capacity. Distributed computing capacity means that it only does what is needed. And when a device is connected, the device can tap into capacities of other devices. So this is basically a digital butler. Great. So since you mentioned this, I think it's a good point for our two panelists to join in the conversation, because up until now, we have only talked about takeout order scenario. And since we have Ms. Zhang Jingjing, who is in charge of electric mobility, I think she can talk about applications of the Harmony system to e-mobility. And we also have our other panelists from OpenAtom Foundation, and maybe he can talk about further applications of this Harmony system. Why don't we start with Ms. Zhang about about what is your hope or the scenario that you see Harmony system can enable? Well, now we are already doing some development projects with Harmony and Huawei. And in the past, when we developed smart features, we basically did that based on the demand. For example, remote control in order to prevent theft. And now, since we have this joint project with Huawei, we are trying to develop a system that allows synchronization or collaboration across devices, so that goes beyond electric vehicle or electric two-wheeler accessories such as helmets or the speaker on the electric vehicle. For example, the helmet can allow you to capture the sounds that you wouldn't otherwise hear, or that you can enable some screen by connecting to your cell phone to be able to tap into features that your vehicle does not currently have, or for the camera that is installed on your electric vehicle, because riders would like to have a driving experience more than just riding the electric two-wheeler, but also to have a better experience. And I think there is a lot of room to explore with Huawei. Okay, Ms. Zhang, you reminded me of something. I really liked your idea. And in the past, when we looked at a navigation system and other services, these were very hard to integrate into the electric two-wheelers operating system. So now imagine if you could just ask your helmet, I'm hungry, please show me the way to the nearest KFC. Then imagine that it can tell you where it is and that you can see it on a device connected to your helmet. And that is basically enabling a feature that was only available to four-wheeler electric vehicles to a two-wheeler, right? Right. For example, in the past for EV, if you had an EV or you can enable your air conditioning to be turned on remotely before you even reach home through a smart device. Great. And you will give me another idea. So to be able to trigger action with ideation that allows you to do more, not less, right? Correct. For our users, we are not just selling a product, we are selling a mobility ecosystem service with our electric two-wheelers. Wow. So we can imagine all the wonderful things that electric two-wheelers will allow us to do. And now I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Luo. I know you are super busy with all of your research projects. Could you talk to us about your view on the Internet of Things? So hi, from a research point of view, we are very hopeful for distributed systems, and through working on the Harmony system, we also have our own long-term vision. While you, a bunch of you have mentioned about collaboration across different devices, and we think that we are going to see key commercialization milestones over the next 3 years. And as for the IoT platform, I believe that it's going to enable new kinds of interaction between people, such as metaverse. And these are all examples of next generation of interactive services, because IoT is going to enable human-machine interactions, new types of interpersonal interactions towards applications such as metaverse. I think that if you look at the existing systems that are available on the market, they are not quite there yet. And over the next 10 years, I think that it is a good idea to think about the technology, the positioning, and the commercialization potential. So we do have a plan, a near-term plan over the next 1 to 3 years for Harmony system, a medium-term plan for over the next 3 to 5 years, and then for 5 to 10 years, a longer-term plan. There are several key things we have to look at. First of all, standardized infrastructure to enable IoT. Also, we have to think about how to respond to more devices that are empowered by AI to connect to the system. And over the longer term, we have to think about being ready for metaverse and for computing capacity to handle big data and real-time rendering. Over the next 10 years, we are looking at new computing system structures and architecture, such as new computing platform, because one important pending issue in mobile computing is about the imbalance between demand for computing devices and computing capacities. And we are seeing that with greater computing demand, there is more power consumption. So if we need full frame rendering that is required by metaverse, it's only going to increase the demand on computing, and that would require a change in paradigm in computing.
So that's why we aim to provide the open source support and to set a 10-year plan. So we really welcome efforts from different parties and to embrace partners from the globe to join the ecosystem and to provide their technical solutions and to build the next generation experience of IoT and internet. So just to share with you one of the latest development. So we are in the process of talking with some of the leading IT companies in Europe. So with Eclipse Foundation, we have started the collaboration. So with that, I would like to wrap up what I wanted to share. Wow, that's very exciting. So Harmony is connected to this full use case internet and then all the way to metaverse and digital twins. So it seems like it's all connected. And you have been working on this for 10 years. So for investors, sometimes we don't have the privilege of knowing all the information. Well, I think technology is evolving. So is Harmony OS. So we are able to launch this community-based version in Germany, and we believe we will have a widespread adoption around the globe. Since we still have a little bit time, we would like to open the floor to our audience for some questions. Since we have three experts on this topic with us today. It seems like one of our audiences raised his hand. He's got a question. So let's take this opportunity. So this question is about the application, like the real rollout of Harmony OS. It seems like Huawei is now applying this operating system in telemedicine and or in other remote adoption. So what is the most direct or most immediate application of this operating system? So let me try to answer that. So I think the fastest application of Harmony OS is its current adoption in China, like what Madam Zhang mentioned earlier, that we kept tabs on the sales performance of Huawei during the Double 11 campaign. Another important application is in smart home appliances. In the future, adoptions will be in electric vehicles or other IoT use cases. Manufacturers will have different timeline when it comes to R&D, and iSoftStone will develop our commercial version. So it really depends on the capabilities of different manufacturers and the demand from these different brands. So, Boyd, since you are still here, I have an audience from Europe. He works at a large family office. So he said he's not very familiar with Harmony OS. Well, Harmony OS was introduced a while ago, and now it has been downloaded for many times, and the sales was like 210 million. So let me just give you a brief introduction of Harmony OS. It is smart and devices based. So different from iOS or Android, Harmony OS is actually all encompassing of all the features provided by the other OS, but it also has a unique feature because it aims to build super terminals or super end devices. So with the help of cloud computing and IoT use cases, it has great prospects of application. So let me give you an example. Let's say we want to have a full home smart solution. Once your cell phone installs Harmony OS, it will interact with your doorbell or your camera at your door. So you can just click the link in your cell phone, and you will see via your cell phone the footage from the camera, like who is knocking at your door, and then you can send an instruction and to have the door automatically open, or you can just go and open the door yourself. Wait, so the question is, when did Huawei announce the release of Harmony OS, and what is the latest developments in the past few months? We know you're an expert on this. So our audience wants to know the details of when exactly the operating system was launched and what type of devices have adopted this OS and how many versions are available. I think Harmony OS was officially launched on the 22nd of June in 2021. So there are about 300 million devices have installed the operating system, and about 200 million of them are cell phones. So that is the plan. Right now, there are about 200 million installations. Most of them are cell phones, and the others are smart home appliances like soybean makers or even EVs. So about 150 million installations are on the cell phones, including Huawei's own cell phones, Honor or the P series, and Huawei's smart screens. We have seen a very strong adoption. So I remember in the title of your presentation, you said that Harmony OS has the fastest adoption. So compared to iOS, how many years did iOS take to reach this 200 million installations? So back to 10 years ago, when I studied iOS, there was this renowned Coco China, which is a tech community. I registered in that community at the end of 2009. Then there were less than 1,500 developers in China who were working on iOS. And it took about 2 years. So about in 2014, iPhone became a big a seller or a very popular product in China. And thanks to the improvement of broadband speed and the development of mobile internet. So very quickly, we saw this significant adoption of iOS in China. But for Harmony OS, between June and this October, in 4 months, we are seeing hundreds of millions of installations. So that means Harmony OS has been adopting at a rate that's almost 10 times as fast as iOS. And Android, since it is an open source OS, so in 2018, we saw this explosive development based on Android. And back in 2013, when China entered the 4G age, we saw development of both Android and iOS. In around 2013, many companies were still working on their app development. Just another question from the audience. So Madam Zhang or Mr. Luo can take that question. Compared to, well, we just want to know the compatibility of Harmony OS with Ali Cloud or Huawei Cloud or other types of cloud services. Does Harmony OS provide the compatibility? Mr. Luo, do you want to take that question? Or maybe Boyd can take this question. So in my presentation, I mentioned that Harmony OS is governed by Open Harmony and OpenAtom Foundation. iSoftStone will build our own IoT platform, which will be adaptive or compatible with Ali Cloud or Huawei Cloud. And since Harmony is open source, other players in the industry, if they are willing to invest their resources, it will make Harmony even more compatible with other cloud services, thanks to its open source nature. So we have 1 minute left. Maybe Madam Zhang can make a few closing remarks about how Harmony OS can help your EV business in the next 2 to 3 years.
Basically, we're just working on connecting with Harmony OS now. And we are in close contact with Huawei to try to make this work as well as possible. So our plan is to probably to have secondary development for a targeted group. And I hope that there can be more applications or features developed for specific user groups. And I also hope to work with more development partners in the Harmony developer community so that the applications or the interactions will go beyond our electric two-wheelers, but also include smart home applications, for example. Great. So, we did not have a lot of time today to go into depth into the entirety of the Harmony system. So I'd like to just sum it up with the Internet of Things and action through ideation. I would also like to mention digital twin, as well as what I mentioned before, which is smart manufacturing I think that there are many keywords that we can attach to this harmony system in order to understand it better. And Boyd also mentioned a cluster of devices to be connected into the system. I'd like to thank Boyd, Mr. Luo, and Ms. Zhang for opening the door to understanding this new technology and new system. And I'd like to encourage all of our investors to follow closely this system. Well, we are seeing this IoT system powered by Harmony, and also Apple is trying to develop its own IoT system. So basically, we are at a turning point. So with that, I'd like to close today's activity. And I'd like to thank all of our panelists, especially our keynote speaker, Boyd Ye, who has been sharing a lot of informative use cases and information on this Harmony system. With that, I will see you tomorrow. And again, this is Benson Tan from Venturous Group. Thank you.